Hello. Thank you for your interest in the Collective 365 Community Change Grant. My name is Fatima. I am the co-founder of Collective 365. And before we jump into previewing the application, I want to start by going over who is qualified to even apply. First and foremost, Collective 365 is reimagining philanthropy by centering Black and Brown folks as thought leaders and decision makers by way of our Community Change Grant and our Rest and Joy Fund. And for purposes of the Community Change Fund, we are seeking to provide unrestricted grant funding to individuals, groups, organizations, businesses, and nonprofits who are doing work with and for Black and Brown folks in DC, Maryland, and or Virginia. You should be primarily serving Black and Brown people. And when we say primarily, that means 75% of the folks receiving your services identify as a person of color. We also are seeking to put these unrestricted funding dollars into the hands of people of color. That's not to say that every person that is, doing work with your project, whether that's paid folks or unpaid folks, has to be a person of color, but majority of folks should be in color, a person of color, because research tells us that less than 2% of philanthropic dollars goes to people of color. And so we want to change that. So if you are an individual and you are applying, you must be 18 years of age. Your project or program must be benefiting folks in DC, Maryland, and or Virginia. It can be a new idea. When we say new, that means you haven't done it before. That doesn't mean that somebody else hasn't done it, but you have not done it in your area or community. If you are a group or organization, this just means that you are not an LLC, you are not a 501(c)(3) or a nonprofit. You may be just a group of community conscious individuals who just want to impact change. So this might be more like grassroots organizing. If you are a business, that means that you are, like an LLC, or you could be a restaurant, you could be um, a cleaning service. Like one of our recipients was a cleaning service that was trying to help veterans and single parents obtain reliable employment. Excuse me. Um, And then nonprofits. This means that you do have 501(c)(3) standing according to the federal government. So a few categories to apply under, but at the end of the day, whether you're an individual or nonprofit business or a group, you are doing something to benefit Black and Brown folks in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We ask our applicants to have a focus on social justice, health, education, and or workforce development. You do not have to have a program that hits all four of those focus areas. One of the four is sufficient. Um, the other thing to note is we are accepting applications online and over the phone this year. There is a change. We are not accepting video submissions this year. In previous years, we have. The other thing to note is that we are expecting that whatever you put on your application is the truth and nothing but the truth. So without further ado, I'm going to get started with showing you how to access our application. And if you have additional questions, please email us at collective365info@gmail.com. So if you go to collective365.org, you'll see our landing page. You're going to hit grants, community change grant, and then you're going to scroll down. And right now, because it's not February 1, you see the notify me button. If you click notify me between now and February 1st, it'll allow you to go to a Google form and enter your information, and we will send you the application directly to your inbox on February 1st. So you don't have to worry about, remembering to log on to get the application. We'll send it straight to you. If for some reason you forget to click notify me, no worries. On February 1st, this notify me button will change to apply now button. And when you hit the apply now button, you will then be taken to this page, which is the 2025 Community Change Grant page. And it just explains all things about the Community Change Grant. The video that I am doing right now with you all will actually be inserted here. This is the video from 2023, so we will put this recording on the web page. We'll also have links that provide you with all the grant application questions before you get started. For some applicants, they like being able to preview the questions before they start the application. It allows them to get their answers together, so that way when they fill in the application, it just goes quicker. I highly encourage folks to download the grant application questions and type your answers in a Word document. The reason that I say that is because our application online cannot be saved. I repeat, our application online cannot be saved. So if you are typing on it and you walk away and your cat walks across your keyboard and exits out of the application, you cannot email us and ask us to retrieve that. We will not have a copy of it. And so that's why I really recommend folks to save it to a Word document. That way, if it gets lost once you submit, you'll at least have a copy to reference. This link on how to upload a video on the YouTube will be removed because, again, the only ways to apply this year are online or over the phone. If you're curious about our grant procedures, like how do folks qualify, what can folks use the money for, click that button and it'll explain all of that. And again, two ways to apply, online and over the phone. The phone option is for folks who struggle to have reliable um, internet, whether that's by force or choice. We don't judge here. So if you don't have reliable internet or you don't have a computer to use, because I know some folks might say, well, you can use your phone. It's kind of hard to type an application on a phone. And so we want to give folks an opportunity to have another way to apply. This option is also good for folks who just aren't comfortable writing. Like some people are better storytellers. And so you have two options: apply online, which is all written, you submit on your own whenever you want between February 1st and March 1st. On the phone, you would schedule an appointment. And what that looks like is you click here and it's going to redirect you to another page. And here you can select any of these dates. There will not be options in March. You will only have options in February. And it will list the options that are available. And once you see an option that you like, you click it and then you type in your information. And that will get you scheduled for a phone interview. During the phone interview, someone will just be asking you the questions that are listed on the application, and they will be transcribing what it is that you are saying, and then they would upload the application, and you'll get a confirmation email stating, your application has been submitted. So let's go back here. the 2025 Community Change Grant page is not live right now, but when it is live, like I said, um, you'll see these things. And if you scroll down, there's a frequently asked questions section about if I join or donate, can I still apply for a grant? Yes, you can. There is no minimum operating budget for people to apply. Um, can I apply if I live outside the DMV? Certainly. So we have people who live in North Carolina, but they have a nonprofit in DC. So you don't personally need to live in DC, Maryland, or Virginia, but your work needs to be in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. Um, excuse me, our grants are awarded this year through random selection. This is new for us. Previously, we were getting a committee together, we were reviewing every single application and scoring it, but we have realized that one, that can lead to some bias, right? Because like there's no um, way to remove biases when you're judging people's work. Two, we found that it was very, very time consuming for our group of volunteers who keyword are volunteering, so they're not being paid to, contribute, almost 40 hours to reviewing applications. So we just figured this would level the playing field. Um, and also help ensure that we are able to award this money without concern of lack of volunteers to review the applications. So once you submit your application, you will be asked to pay either 10, 15, or $20. If you pay $15, it does not increase your chances compared to somebody that paid $10. It just means that if you pay $20, that's 20 more dollars that goes towards the fund. Right now, we've got about almost $16,000 raised. So if we have, 100 people um, apply and all 100 pay $10, that's $1,000 that goes into the pot. So instead of it being 16,000, it's now 17,000 that we have to give away. So 100% of the application fee is donated back to the grant fund. So we're not keeping that. We don't make a profit off of it. Um, so I'm gonna not spend any more time on the frequently asked questions. You can look at that or send us an email. Um, when you go to online and you click here, it'll take you to the actual application. And so the application introduction is pretty wordy. I know you're probably looking at it and overwhelmed, but we want to just make sure that everybody understands what they're applying for. Um, And so we have our who can apply, how are they selected, what we fund, what we don't fund, the application timeline. We do anticipate notifying folks and cutting checks by April 30th. Um, you have the ability to get up to $10,000. Um, and then at the bottom, it's a little bit about the organization. So down here, it's the first question here is, does your proposal primarily serve Black and Brown individuals or communities in DC, Maryland, and Virginia? It's a very simple question. Whatever you are seeking money for should be something that benefits Black and Brown folks in DC, Maryland, and or Virginia. So if what you're doing does that, hit yes. If not, exit out of the application. This is not the application for you. Don't waste your time. If you answered yes, you'll go down here to organization/individual name. So if you are applying as a group, organization, business, or nonprofit, you would put that name. If you are applying as just an individual who has an idea to do something, you would put your name. Next, tell us about your organization or initiative, including who you serve and how you serve them. Feel free to include data or context about the community that you serve and or needs you address if you think it will be helpful for the collective. Um, and then you're going to move down here to first and last name of the individual who is the point of contact for the application. So I may be applying as an individual, and so I put my name Fatima, but I really want my sister to be the point of contact for the application. So if anybody has questions about the application, instead of contacting Fatima, they're going to contact my sister, Sarah. And I'm going to put Sarah's name there. I'll put Sarah's email address there and phone number. If you are an organization, business, or nonprofit, you're going to put the organization's name. So you would put Collective 365, for example. If I was applying for Collective 365, for the first and last name of the individual who's the point, you're not going to put Collective 365 because that's not a person, that's a organization. I would then put Bianca, who is our board president. So she's going to be the point of contact. So it's just an example. Phone number. This is only if we try to email you and we don't get a hold of you. We might call you. By and large, we are not calling people, but we'd rather have the information than not. We primarily communicate via email. So please, please, please make sure that you put us in your favorites on your inbox so that we don't go to spam or your junk folder. We have had people in the past lose money because we've reached out to them and said, hey, you have 2 weeks to respond so that we can give you this $10,000, and the person does not respond. And so then we have to select someone else. So please make sure that you're checking your emails. Then we ask for your website or social media link. Um, it's okay if you don't have one, especially if you're an individual. More than likely, you're not going to have, excuse me, you're not going to have a website, but you might have social media. So you could type in www.facebook.com backslash the name of your page. So you can do Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or website. Please select which status best describes the applicant. So again, are you applying as an individual, group, or organization, business, or nonprofit? Please, for this, you can only select one. If you are a person who is doing a project as an individual and you also maybe work for an organization that is wanting funds, those are two separate applications. So you would have to pay $10 to apply as an individual and then another $10 to apply as a nonprofit. You cannot combine proposals into one application. If you are applying as an individual, the question is asking, how do you identify? If you are not applying as an individual, you will put, I am not applying as an individual. If you're applying as an organization, group, or business, it's going to ask you a question and you check whichever one is applicable. And then it says share a recent accomplishment that your organization is most proud of over the last 1 to 2 years. You can be as detailed as you want or as concise as you want. We don't give out points for who writes the most. We just want an applicant to say enough so that we understand the accomplishment that they're trying to describe. Then you're going to get into the program or project name. So if you're a nonprofit and you are, doing community baby showers, right? And maybe your program project is um, Happy Baby Productions. I don't know. So you would put that there for your program name, project name. Then you're going to select which area of focus does your proposal fit. You get to determine what best fits. So let's go with the example of, Happy Baby Productions. Um, you might say that that is an education, health, and social justice proposal because we know that um, Black women are more likely to um, have higher rates of maternal death. And so during the community baby shower, there'll be doulas there, there'll be resources for mothers. Um, and so we're addressing a social justice issue, providing education and helping um, support the physical, emotional, um, and mental well-being of not only baby, but also mom or parent. Which area does your proposal target? Um, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Actually, we're gonna change this now that I'm looking at this to check boxes because there are some folks like us who are regional and that do DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So you'll be able to check one or all of the boxes as they apply to you. Next is please elaborate on your criteria for individuals accessing your services or program. So again, let's go with the community baby shower event. I'm hosting this community baby shower event. It's for folks with child. And I'm specifically saying folks with child because there are folks who do not identify as a woman, but may have a child inside of them. So my criteria is any individual who is, carrying a child or a pregnant person, and they must be a person of color. They must be at least 16 years of age. If not 16, must be accompanied by a parent, must live in Jackson Ward area of Virginia, or in Shockoe Bottom. So that's my criteria. Then I go down to how much funding are you requesting? So we're seeking $5,500. And the next question says, how will it benefit the community? Please share how the funding will be utilized. So I might say it benefits communities of color because we know that Black women are more likely to die um, when pregnant. And so we're trying to give out information and provide resources to support them during this time. Um, please share how the funding will be utilized. So I might say $500 is going to purchase car seats. Another $1,000 is going to um, provide the food for the event. $2,000 is the venue rental. Um, that's what we mean when we say, what's the breakdown of the money that you're asking for? I will tell you, if you are, even though we're doing random drawing, whatever application we draw, we are going to read it to ensure that this is a proposal that meets our criteria. And so we might follow up and just say, hey, you asked for $10,000, but you didn't make it clear on what you're using. So to not delay our process, please be sure to explain what you're using the money for. The next question is, the maximum grant amount is $10,000. Can your proposal be completed with $10,000? And you just select which one best reflects your circumstances. Please know that if you select that, like, no, I need more than $10,000 and I don't know where I'm going to get funding, that does not mean that you are disqualified. We just like this for data collection purposes. We're just trying to get a sense of like how many of our applicants really are unable to seek other funds or maybe have sought out funds but just have been denied. Next question, second to last question. If your proposal requires more than $10,000, please explain how you anticipate securing the remaining funding. If you don't need more than $10,000, please write NA for your response. And then the last question is, please identify capacity building support. And we ask that you only click 3. If you click more than 3, it will void out this question. So the application will allow you to click all of them if you wanted to. But what I'm saying is when we review it, if we see that you clicked more than 3, we will discard this question for you, meaning that you won't be eligible for capacity building. So please only select 3. And if we have resources available, we will connect you for free or at a, excuse me, or at a steeply reduced price. Then it will say select which application fee you want to pay. Again, the application fee goes towards the grant. So if you click $10, instead of us having $16,000, we're now going to have $16,010. If you choose $20, it does not increase your chances of winning. Just like if you give $10, it doesn't decrease your chances of winning. And then you're going to hit submit and you're done. So 22 questions. Most of them are, multiple choice or checkbox. Fairly simple application. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, please shoot us an email, collective365info@gmail.com. So again, collective365 at info collective365info@gmail.com. Sorry, let me try that again. Collective365info@gmail.com. And we will be happy to answer your questions. Once again, spread the word. The application goes live February 1st, 2025. The application closes March 1st, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Between now and February 1st, go to our website, click the Notify Me button under the grants portion of the website so that you can get this application sent to you. Think about it. For $10, you could possibly be getting $10,000 to do the great work that you are doing or dream about doing. And we are excited about the possibility to invest and celebrate you. So again, thank you for your interest in applying to Collective 365's 2025 Community Change Grant. We wish you all the best and thank you for what you're doing to improve our community.